It is with regards to one of my friends. Yesterday he went to school. He was coming back. He took a school bus where there were a mixture of men and women. It was so tight that he was attached to the women to the extent that Shaitan overcame him, and then he happened to release something, and then he was so excited, and then he happens to ejaculate to the extent that he released some sperm. So he is saying whether he is to do the kafara or not. He is so worried about that.
طيب Ibrahim, this is a very serious question, my dear viewers. Our brother from Morocco left from college, caught the bus was very crowded, and it is very unfortunate in many Muslim countries. The public transportations is some sort of like sardine cans, men and women, old and young. So there is complete physical contact, squeezing against each other. It is very offensive, and this is simply lack of respect to women, and it leads to sexual harassment 100%. How could you ask a man there is not even 1 millimeter space between him and a woman who may be not wearing hijab or wearing revealing clothes, either he's facing her or he's attached to her, because this is how it is. I happen to be in similar situations many times when I was in college, like sardines in the can. So if the person is not God-fearing, if he's God-fearing, he will turn around, he will look for, group of men and sit next to them. Honorable men will stand up and ask the women to sit down in order to be protected and guarded. But in this case, the brother was so physically close to the woman that he ended up releasing sexual discharge. Ibrahim from Morocco says that he released sperm. Let me explain to you the difference between mani and madhi. I'm not going to speak about the wajh because it's not included here. It's not a sexual discharge. Sexual discharge is either madhi or mani. Al-madhi, there may be a leak of a drop or two of a viscid, colorless excretion. Viscid, colorless excretion. The person would feel it. Not whenever they are so close to women, but whenever they are aroused and thinking about sexual contact, even though if there is nothing in front of them. So, due to thinking, there will be a release of a drop or two of this clear, colorless, viscid excretion. That you need to wash your private and wash the spot of your undergarment which was soiled with the sexual discharge and make wudu, and your fasting is still valid. There is another sexual discharge which is called mani, and mani happens as a result of number one, sexual intercourse, physical sexual intercourse, or personal stimulation due to masturbation. 3, in the wet dreams, where the person would see as if he is having sexual contact and they end up having what we call it ejaculation. So if the sexual discharge, which is viscid, milky, and it comes in abundance, and it is ejaculated, not a drop or two, large amount, in this case this is called mani. And excreting mani due to self-stimulation, or being in contact but not sexual contact, like as I said, they're standing in the bus and so on, but this is really embarrassing, that invalidates fasting if it was ejaculation. And you knew now the difference between mani and madhi. It will invalidate fasting, and he will be required to continue fasting, yet make up another day after Ramadan. So what about fasting for 2 consecutive months? This is only if there was sexual discharge due to sexual intercourse, and even without sexual discharge. So sexual contact, complete intimate relationship, what is known as sexual intercourse, with or without sexual discharge, would require, number 1, tawbah, number 2, making up this day, number 3, resuming fasting of this day which they void its fasting, number 4, kafara for both the man and the woman, because it was done during the daytime of Ramadan when they were supposed to be fasting. If they were traveling, if they were having an excuse not to fast, there is no blame upon them. But fasting, and they invalidated fasting through sexual intercourse, then fasting for 2 consecutive months for each one of them is required.